Yes, sir. Can we
Yes,
start?
sir. We'll start, sir.
Okay. A very good afternoon to all of you.
Sir,
Enough to the
first, first I will introduce and I'll read out your biodata. Then you can start your presentations.
Okay, please.
Okay. Sir. So, wish you all a happy Independence Day. A very warm afternoon to one and all. Bowing to the lotus feet of Sri Durundeshwara and His Holiness Sri Niranjan Jagadguru Panchama Shri Shivalingeshwara Mahaswamigalu Siddha Sansthan Mat Nidsosi. I, Mr. Mahesh Gadag, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Hira Sugar Institute of Technology, Nidsosi, hearty welcomes you all to the webinar on Career as Officer in Indian Armed Forces. On behalf of management, principal, HOD, staff and participants, I heartily welcome the resource persons of today's webinar, Lieutenant Colonel Dr. N.S. Rao, Commando trained ex-SSR SSB. I also welcome our beloved principal, Dr. S.C. Kamte sir, Dr. Ravi M. Edalli, HOD, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, and all the faculty members and participants to this webinar. I feel proud to introduce the resource person of today's webinar, Lieutenant Colonel Dr. N.S. Rao, Commando trained ex-SSR SSB.
Thank you.
He is an ex-army officer who has served in infantry, Madras Regiment, which is fighting arm of army for almost 25 years. He has vast experience in assessment, training, evaluation, and counseling. He is Army Commando Course trained, holds proud privilege of serving in long operations along the line of control at Uri sector in Jammu and Kashmir, in Operation Vijay at Kargil War, many counter-insurgency operations in jungles of Jammu and Kashmir, fighting against terrorists in eastern Ladakh along LAC, ranging where the temperature is ranging to minus 20 degrees Celsius, along AGPL at Northern Siachen Glacier as tactical commander, which is considered as world's highest and coldest battlefield, having an altitude up to 22,000 feet and temperatures ranging to minus 70 degrees Celsius. He has been awarded with General Officer Commanding in Chief, Northern Commendation, Vice Chief of Army Staff Commendation, and Chairman of Staff Committee Commendation for his gallantry services, besides many appreciations. He served as Psych Assessor in Selection Center East at Allahabad. He is certified as Skilled Assessor and trained many personality evaluator and a trainer who has successfully trained hundreds of candidates and benefited them. Many candidates, both ladies and gentlemen, trained by him are well placed as Class 1 officers in Army, Navy, Air Force, Police, and other corporate organizations. His vast experience and knowledge is a sure shot contributor to various professional trainees and potential leaders. We are very much lucky to have such an eminent personality as resource person for this webinar. With this brief note, I conclude my introductory speech. Thank you, sir. Now I request resource person of this webinar to start the webinar on career as officer in Indian Armed Forces.
Thank you so much, Professor Mahesh, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. And firstly, I wish all the participants of this webinar and all the aspirants and students who are here with us, and the management and the professors who have organized this esteemed webinar for the benefit of all students. I appreciate this good initiative by you on this auspicious day of independence, and a proud moment for me to join and share my thoughts and views with all such aspiring students and noble personalities with me here today. Gentlemen, why I am here to put in my views and share my thoughts with you. The relevance of me being here is basically I was also a student like you. I have chosen career of armed forces, and I have felt and compared myself with those of my contemporaries who opted civil jobs and civic streets. I felt that I have achieved many more things. I could get a lot of experience, and I'm able to stand in front of you today to address you and speak to you and
Sir,
share.
excuse me, sir. Can you switch on the video, sir? Video is not coming. Now, sir.
You want me to switch off video?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. At least participants will be able to see.
Oh yeah. Okay. Am I audible now?
Yeah, audible, sir. Video is not coming, but.
You want me to switch off the video?
No, switch on the video, sir.
It is on already.
But it's.
Yeah. Are you able to see me now?
You have to share the screen, sir, I think.
Am I?
Okay, sir. Okay. It's on.
Is it not on, sir? Am I visible now? Right, sir?
No, sir. But others are saying yes, but I am not saying. It's okay, sir. Continue, sir. I'll just check mine.
Okay, because others are able to see me.
Yeah, they are telling
And
yes.
I am also able to, yes. There are just to take a view that whether they are able to see me or hear me, please. Okay,
So
they are saying yes in chat.
They are able to see
Yes,
you.
they are saying yes in chat. So I will proceed, sir. So,
yes, sir. Yes, proceed, sir.
right. I will continue. Sorry for the technical interruption. So, I was telling
Video
that.
is on, sir. Video is on.
Yeah, video is on. Rakshit, thank you. Okay. Right. So today I am talking to you because after all the achievements I could gain when compared to civil streets, I am there in front of you today. I am very proud and happy, and it is aspiration of every young student or youngster who is aspiring to join an employment is to join armed forces first. That is the choice of every youngster in life, and I aspire to. So I was in NCC. Thereafter, I always pursued the career towards armed forces, and I could clear my armed forces exams in first attempt. For that, I always kept myself physically fit, and also started preparing towards the exams in that aspect. So I am also an average student. I was not an extraordinary student, and I was having average build. But when I started thinking towards armed forces, I pursued my preparation in that aspect. I pursued my physical fitness in that aspect, and I started behaving in officer-like manner. So that helped me and aided me to get selected in the first group. So the talk which I am going to give you, before that, I thank Hirasugar Institute of Technology for this nice opportunity, and I thank Professor Dr. Ravi Yedhalli sir, ECE department, who has organized this webinar. Professor Mahesh Dadak, coordinator sir, and Principal Dr. SCE Kamate. So thank you all sirs, and thank you all the management and coordinating team for this. And Yedhalli sir, Ravi Yedhalli sir, thank you. What I am going to talk to you for a short while now. I will firstly address why one should join the armed forces and what are the benefits. Then I will talk to you about various entries available to join armed forces as officers. Thereafter, we will talk about what is to be done in the various tests, how the tests are there, what are the modalities, what are the written tests, and what are the SSB interviews and all, how you go about it, and then how to prepare for it. Thereafter, I'll ask you if any queries. At the end, you can ask your queries. I'll try to clear. So I think we'll go step by step so that everybody understands and it goes in a systematic manner. Your queries and your doubts, please ask at the end. I will be giving you time for that. More amount of time will cater for our interaction. Okay. We are talking on career as officer in armed forces. When I say armed forces, it is Army, Navy, and Air Force. All these three services are basically called as armed forces, which defend our country. Firstly, those aspirants who are wanting to join armed forces must know that it is not a money-making business. It is a noble service. One should have, bent of mind towards service rather than making, commercial aspect of it. It is a pride for you to join as a soldier in any of these services. When you don your uniform, when you put on your uniform, it's a great pride. It comes from within you. Every day morning when you put on your uniform, you feel that you are the elitist, you are the special person of this country. The responsibility of whole country rests on your shoulder. So that is the responsibility. You are standing and guarding this country from borders. And these services are basically defending the country from external aggression, from enemy, and internal security duties when anything is going unrest, and aid to civil authorities. That is, in case of calamities, disasters, etc., armed forces are called for immediate rescue, as you all are aware. So when we join armed forces, it is like a family. It is not like any private company or any company. It is a family, and there is a bonding like how you are bonded to your parents and brothers, sisters. When you join your battalion, when you join your unit, your blood becomes that battalion's blood. What you say, Unkharishta, blood relation. Your blood relation goes with that battalion, your regiment. All your friends, they are there with you for lifetime. Even today, after my retirement, after 26 years, my battalion invites me, every person of my battalion who are retired, who are serving, youngsters, old people, all are in touch with me. We are like a family. We have no caste, no creed, no region, no religion. We are one. Our religion and region, everything is India. And we serve for tricolor and we serve for 130 crores of Indians. All are our blood. And we defend our blood in any kind of calamity or torture or any aggression by enemy. We are there to protect. That is our will and wish and aspiration. So when you are joining as a youngster, you should keep in mind that tricolor is the utmost thing and we are serving, and safety, honor and welfare of our country comes first, always and every time. And then safety, welfare and honor of our men comes second. And our safety, welfare comes only at last. That should be your motto and that should be your thought process. So if those who want to join armed forces must know this thing. Secondly, when you join armed forces, as a youngster when I joined and till date, I have learned variety of skills. Armed forces means people think there is no study thereafter. Many of them have. Probably these days youngsters have a lot of internet and search engines, so you can search and see. There are a lot of studies in armed forces. So your studies do not end there. They start. That is the beginning. You keep learning various courses. For example, if you are joining as an engineer with graduation, you can do MTech there. People have done, my course mates, some of them have done PhDs, doctorates. And after their retirement, there are a lot of avenues available, for resettling. And the greatest thing is, this is the only organization which is giving you pension. After retirement, every month you are getting your pension. That is the greatest boon. In case of demise of an officer, his wife gets the pension. In case wife also happens something, then his child who is unmarried daughter or minor children, they also do get the pension. So that is the benefit of this thing. This organization is the only one of the such kinds which is now having pension for the ex-servicemen. As an youngster in armed forces, I have learned combat leadership. I have commanded various operations. I have commanded a team of almost 1,000 men at Siachen Glacier at minus 70 temperature. I have commanded, troops in war. You as a leader set an example by staying ahead always. So you learn man management, you learn HR management, you learn material management, you learn crisis management, you learn event management. You know about every weapon which is supposed to be with you and you are supposed to use. You know social skills, you learn social skills, how to interact with people. You learn communication skills. That is basically you are developing your personality day by day. You play sports, various sports, team games basically you are playing, and also you can play sports like squash, golf, tennis, and swimming, all, which you cannot afford in normal civic streets. It is not available. One has to pay through their nose to play all these games. Adventure sports, you have paragliding, you have many sea games, you have trekking, you have paratrooping. So you can say a lot of adventure sports you get to play. Normal course people do not get that opportunity. You can develop hobbies, and you have ability to be part of elite clubs all over India. This is perks of the joining armed forces. And as a youngster, as a lieutenant, the first rank which you get is lieutenant, pilot officer, and likewise in equivalent ranks in Navy. You are earning a pay from the pay band level 10. That is nothing less than 56,000 to 1 lakh above. The initial salary, as you climb up steps, that is once you are lieutenant, you become captain, then you major, then a lieutenant, so on. Your salary goes up to 2,50,000 basic fixed once you reach to the rank of a general. So gentlemen, the career in armed forces is very progressive, very bright, and it hones up your various skills. Above all, you get your medical benefits, you get free hospitaling from military hospital, you get various allowances for getting placed in various field areas, difficult areas. You get canteen facilities. You get ex-servicemen also get ECHS facilities, that's health facility, hospital facility, and moreover you get army welfare housing organization that provides houses, and there are so many reservations for ex-servicemen, and there are resettlement avenues. Once you retire, you got resettlement avenues. And at times, if something goes wrong with the officer, spouse can also get some reservation for getting Veer Nari's entry into armed forces, which I am going to cover shortly. And there is reservation for parents, children of ex-servicemen in various this thing. Ex-servicemen get some age relaxation post-retirement. So you name a thing, you have that opportunity available in armed forces. Above all, gentlemen, your uniform itself is a pride. You are serving the country in the front line. That is the greatest, feeling of pride, and people look up to you with a lot of respect and dignity. So just by earning in life doesn't matter. One has to earn respect too, and one has to have pride. How people look at him matters. So all this you are getting through defense officer's job. So that is how you are building up your career in armed forces. It is a very noble profession, and it is like gentleman, right man for the right job. For this, you have to hone up your skills, which again I am going to cover in part 3 of my lecture. Now I will move towards what all entries are available for you, what are the eligibilities for you guys to get into armed forces. So there are different entries for men, women, and also in women and men at after certain age for widowers or divorcees, all this married people. There are different entries. So I'll just cover one by one. There is an for 10 plus 2 candidates who have passed their intermediate are appearing for final intermediate, that is plus 2. They have entries like NDA entry, National Defense Academy entry. This is advertised twice a year, and thereafter that is UPSC advertises it for written test NDA. The age limit is from 16 and a half to 19 and a half, and this NDA Academy is in Khadakwasla, Pune. So candidates are joined young at the age of 16 and a half onwards up to 19 and a half. So once you appear UPSC exam, once you clear UPSC exam, then you are called for SSB interview. SSB means Services Selection Board interview. There are different services selection boards all over India, and there are different boards for Army, Navy, Air Force. We have at Allahabad, Bangalore, we have at Dehradun, and we have different places, Kapurthala and all. So we go to these places to appear SSB interview. This is a 5 days interview. Once you clear SSB interview, then they check your medical fitness, and thereafter one is called for training. Once all these are through, so UPSC exam one has to appear. It is a competitive exam. Normally you have NDA test morning and afternoon. 2 sessions are there. Morning session you have elementary mathematics, that is 10 plus 2 level mathematics in written test, and then you have general studies paper, which you have, that is including all science, social, polity, civics, etc., and your current affairs and GK will be part of it, and general English, that will be part of GS paper, which is part 2 paper on that day, afternoon ke baad, that they conduct. So once you clear UPSC, then you go for SSB. In SSB, it is a 5 days interview. That is, you have a stage 1 test in which they select candidates, those who are fit, and after stage 1 test, they screen in candidates, and screened in candidates are taken for rest 4 days of test, which includes psychology. Thereafter, ground task, that is, group testing officer does ground test, and then some personal interview by interviewing officer. Then once you are through, you will be checked for your medicals, and then you will be called for military academy training at NDA, which is for 3 years at NDA, and thereafter, depending upon your choice of branch, you will go to 1 year of training at Dehradun if you are going to Army, or Naval Academy Ejimala for 1 year if you are going to Navy, and Air Force Academy Dindigul if you are coming to Air Force after NDA. And also for 10 plus 2 technical entry, that is called again Permanent Commission TES entry, Technical Entry Scheme. Here we have, it is based on cutoff marks of 10 plus 2, not by any written test. Based on your cutoff, if somebody is getting more than 80, and it is depending on comparative marks, percentile के हिसाब से top most से लेंगे, there will be a cutoff, and people will be called for interview of SSB directly. Once a candidate is selected in SSB and that is SSB interview and medicals, they will be going for 1 year of basic military training at OTA Gaya, and then 4 years of training at, depending upon their technical branch, that is EME or signals or engineers. Those who are opting for electrical mechanical engineering, they come to Secunderabad for training. Those who are going for engineering, they go for Pune, and those who are going for communication engineering, they go for Mau, Madhya Pradesh. Likewise. So besides, we have naval TES also. In that naval TES, with percentage of marks, they also see your IIT JEE entrance marks, how you have got score in that. So that is the difference only. So for 10 plus 2, you have these entries, and Air Force also, you have this opportunity to go for this technical issue. And basically you need to have maths and physics in 10+2 to go for TES. Okay, gentlemen. That is about 10+2 entries, and now you come to graduation entries. Graduation, we have both men and women, whereas 10+2 we have only men candidates who are unmarried. In graduation, firstly we have CDS entries, that is Combined Defense Services Examination, in which we have permanent commission as well as short service commission. In permanent commission, basically graduates from the age of 19 and a half to 24, that is 19 to 24, that age group is called for written test UPSC, those who apply for UPSC, and then they go for SSB on qualifying, and then from SSB, once as the same procedure, they go for screening and they go for medicals, and once they are fit, Army people will go to Indian Military Academy for 1.5 years of training through Permanent Commission CDSC, and then for Short Service Commission, it is in OTA Chennai. That is, again in Short Service Commission, we have technical and non-technical. Technical people have to be engineering graduates, and non-technical any graduate will do. Again, the advertisement comes for both of these yearly twice, and SSB also is done yearly twice. And training for Permanent Commission is at IMA Dehradun, as I told you, and for Short Service Commission it is at OTA Chennai. Whereas for Navy, we have Naval Academy Ejimala, and we have Air Force Academy Dindigul for Air Force. Okay. Okay, gentlemen, for Air Force, the age bracket is 20 to 24, and for Navy, it is 19 to 24, and OTA Chennai, for non-technical, we have both, it is for married, unmarried, men and women. So here we have Veer Naris entry also. Some of the vacancies are reserved for Veer Naris, the wives of late ex-officers who have laid down their life in the front line. Fine. So these are UPSC. This thing UPSC website we have. UPSC, that is www.upsc.gov.in. www.upsc.gov.in. This is the website. You can check on this for any exams of these defense courses happening. Also, for all these exams, how to keep a track. I'll just tell you with a pause, that is about all the sites which you need to look for. For Army, you must see www.joinindianarmy.nic.in. I repeat, www.joinindianarmy.nic.in. This is for joining Army, and various entries they keep advertising in this site. You go check recruiting branch, recruiting. That is the thing. They go into that and you will find what all they're advertising. And if you want to join Navy, same thing. That is www.joinindiannavy.nic.in. For Air Force, www.joinindianairforce.nic.in. Once you enter into that, look for recruiting. In the recruiting, they give advertisements. So various commissionings, various advertisements for joining armed forces with vacancies and with all the comprehensive details they give in that. Please follow that. So you have all the details which I am telling you, and when they advertise, they will give you all the specifications of physical aspects, medical aspects, syllabus, everything. So that becomes easy for you to refer to. And we have entries like after this CDSC exam, which I told you, IMA Dehradun, Air Force Academy Hyderabad, Dindigul for Air Force, and for Air Force you have that is final year or past graduation with BE. One needs to have physics and maths at 10+2 level, as I told you. For Indian Naval Academy Ejimala, again age is 19 to 24. One needs to have past degree in engineering, or it should be in final year who is going to appear and age is 19 to 24. OTA Chennai, we have many vacancies in this when compared to other two. We have 20 to 27 age bracket with some seats reserved for Veer Naris, and here it is men and women both entry is available in this. Okay, now come to UES entry, University Entry Scheme. Here we have age bracket 18 to 24. University entry scheme, age bracket 18 to 24. We have pre-final year BTech degree students who are in third year. So on-campus interviews are done, selections are done, and then it will be selection will be based on the interview conducted by respective command headquarters of the army, that is defense establishment in that area. And technical graduates course, this is again for engineers. There are 40 vacancies in this. We have age bracket from 20 to 27 because engineers, it is a permanent commission. The bracket of age is little more. 27 तक किया हुआ है. You can note that. That is called technical graduate course entry, TGC entry. 40 vacancies are there. So final year or past BE or BTech engineering students are eligible. Or BArch students and MSc computer students are also eligible for this, and unmarried only, and it is advertised. And here we have no written test, and based on cutoff marks they will be called for interview of SSB. So for TGC there is no written test. Based on your engineering cutoff marks they will call you for SSB interview. Please look for the advertisement. And we have also technical graduate course entry for education people, that is education course, AEC, that's called. Age bracket is again 23 to 27 for students who have done MA, MSc, MCom, MCA and MBA. They should have passed in first division and second division. So they are basically married and unmarried, both candidates are eligible. And application is basically there for 2 times the advertisement is given in a year, April, May and also October, November. And there is no written test here again. They are called in the similar way based on the percentage of marks in the graduation cutoff. And we have technical entry for married men, unmarried, men and women both. That is short service commission, men, and short service commission, women also. And 20 to 27 age bracket. Again, there will be a 49 weeks of training at OTA Chennai, and there is no written test here. Cutoff percent marks will be taken as per the graduation marks. Directly SSB will be there. Next, many students also join NCC. For the NCC students, there is a special entry called NCC special entry. In this, a candidate needs to have NCC C certificate with minimum B grade. Age group is from 19 to 25. Age eligibility is from 19 to 25, and we can have final year or past graduate with 50% marks minimum, and they should have NCC C certificate in C, that is senior division, with B minimum B grading. Unmarried men and women are eligible. Both men and women are eligible for this, and advertisement is given twice a year, July, and there is no written test. And for those who have done some siblings would have done a law also. For them, there is a separate entry called JAG entry, Judge Advocate General entry, law entry. So one can join through that. Age is 21 to 27, and they should have done minimum 55% marks in law, and thereafter they should have been registered in Bar Council of India. For doctors, there is a separate entry called Army Medical Corps entry, AMC entry. We have age group is up to 45 years, and they should have passed MBBS at least in second attempt, and they should have been registered with MCI, Medical Council of India. Both unmarried men and women are eligible again here. We have Army Dental Corps entry also for dental doctors. Age group is again below 45, and they should have passed BDS or MDS minimum with 55% marks, and they should have registered with Dental Council of India, and also they should have NEET qualified for MD. Only qualification will do. For nursing people, those if any sibling is there, nursing people, MNS and their military nursing services, 17 to 25, and it is only for women. They should have passed 10 plus 2 candidates. They will make them do the degree, and it is an online exam based thereafter an interview by medical authorities of army. And MNS, for those who have done degree, the age group is from 21 to 35. And then one more entry is there for men and women both. That is, the age is up to 42, from 18 to 42. This is called territorial army officer, TA officer entry. It is a non-departmental thing, and minimum a graduation is required from recognized university, and both unmarried and men and divorcees can also apply. And finally, there is one exam called AFCAT, Air Force Common Admission Test, where men and women both are eligible, and minimum 60% marks are required in maths and physics. In intermediate, they should have that, and in graduation 60% again. And for flying, that is technical people, flying people, it is age is 20 to 24. And if those who have commercial pilot license, they have 26 years age group bracket. And for non-technical, again, there is a eligibility of 20 to 26. Those who are non-technical, non-flying, they can also join in logistics and other branches through AFCAT. There is a written test, thereafter followed by SSB interview in AFCAT, AFCAT, Armed Air Force Common Admission Test. So these are the various entries available, and to look for those, as I told you, you can always browse through the websites which I have told you: www.joinindianarmy.nic.in, www.joinindiannavy.nic.in, and Indian Air Force nic.in. These are the websites you should look for. Okay, now, as I told you, there is also something called employment news, which is a hard copy of printed newspaper which comes. I think fortnightly it comes. All the government jobs and other things are published in that. All the defense forces examinations for officers test, that is advertised in employment news. You can also look in that for hard copy. Okay, now we will see what are the exam modalities. Some of it also already I have partially covered you. I will not take much time here. UPSC exams are basically written tests which you need to prepare through practice. You have to practice mathematics, elementary mathematics, both for IMA, that is CDS entries, and also NDA exam. You need to prepare elementary maths, 10 plus 2 level maths, and then you need to prepare general studies, that is your science, social studies, your general English, and also your GK and your current affairs. How do you prepare for GK and current affairs? By reading newspapers every day, one national newspaper, read through editorial columns, not trash news, and also watch news every day, national news and also local news. And for GK you can prescribe Manorama yearbook. Most of it is already available on online also, but you read printed copy. Manorama yearbook is good, or Pratyogta Darpan is good. Some Arihant series GK books are also good. Since I am watching that, so I found these as a good stuff. Manorama yearbook, Pratyogta Darpan, and Arihant series publications, GK books and all. And also prepare for verbal and non-verbal, that is mental ability books. And for current affairs, you can go through Competition Success Review or India Today or Frontline, these magazines, weekly magazines which come. Also go through newspapers. Watch always international news also, CNN or BBC or such good news channels for international news. You must keep a track, otherwise you will miss out on that. And the GK, there is something called Study IQ channel in YouTube. Study IQ channel in YouTube. Please go through that. You can just, when you are having mobile, most of youngsters, you have mobiles all the time in your hand. There are a lot of search engines. Just go through YouTube. You will find a lot of stuff of current affairs. You can keep updating yourself. And once you clear UPSC, right? UPSC is 1 day test. Morning session you have mathematics 300 marks, and evening session I think you have 600 marks of general studies. Once you prepare, just by getting 50% marks or 60% marks, you will be screened into written test. I am telling you guys, most of the candidates, they don't put in the effort, so they don't clear. Don't go by them. You just study at least, in a day we have 24 hours. 8 hours plus 8 hours plus 8 hours. All I need you to do, just take out 4 hours time. 8 hours you sleep, 8 hours you go to college, do something. 4 hours you take your time, entertain yourself. But at least 4 hours, take your time for your studies. If not 4 hours, at least put in 3 hours with focus. You will start doing, achieving a lot of things. You will develop confidence in your own self, and you will be able to attend these competitive exams very smoothly and very easily. And once you clear this, you get into that is SSB, Services Selection Board test. In Services Selection Board, as I told you, there is a screening test on the first day, followed by some of them are screened out, those who are not speaking or don't show communication skills or don't know basic numerical ability and all. If they don't perform, they are screened out. Those who are okay, they are screened in. And for them, the second day will be psychology test, and third day and fourth day will be some ground test by GTO, and thereafter interview by personal interviewing officer, maybe a brigadier or a colonel will take interview personally. Once you are through, your medicals will be done and you are going to academy. It is very easy, not a big thing. It is no that big air. Average people can get selected. I am telling you, with minimum 50 to 60% marks and 60% performance will see you through these tests. It's not a big thing. We don't want any smart cat who is, we don't want Einsteins in army here. We want average people who are disciplined, who are physically fit, who are obedient, who have basic common sense. That will make a good officer. And it is basically right man for the right job. With discipline and hard work, you can easily achieve the success and you can easily join the armed forces as officer. It's not a big deal, gentlemen. So actually, after my retirement, I have started coaching many candidates, many of engineering students. They have cleared and they have become officers. I give training to students to go through SSB interviews. Those of you who are interested, I can share my telephone number also at the end. You can always approach me if you have any queries or doubts or any clarifications. So finally, how to prepare and develop yourself. Gentlemen, as I told you, preparation is an easy pattern, everyday study, a little bit of study. Important is you start practicing your skills and communication skills. You must speak well. You must try and speak with your friends in English. Try and develop English language speaking and try and develop public speaking practice. That will help and aid you very well. One has to be bold, one has to be confident when they are interacting. It's not a big deal. Most of the candidates who don't get selected in interviews is basically because they don't speak. Or when they are speaking, they are very mild and meeky. They are submissive. That is a problem. So that is a problem. So gentlemen, sorry for the interruption. What I am telling is, if you prepare at least 2 hours a day with focus, it is very, very easy. SSB, some query has come that is English compulsory. See, gentlemen, you are all going to become officers. Hindi is our national language, but you are expected to speak English when you become an officer. So at least you need to have some knowledge in English. If you don't have any speaking ability in English, how will you thereafter interact in day-to-day life as an officer? So upgrade yourself and try to improve your English speaking, but it is not compulsory that You need to only speak in English. Some of my colleagues whom I have seen, they have purely spoken in Hindi and got selected. But as they become officers, they started learning and they started interacting in English more. They became fluent in English. It's not a big deal. So, gentlemen, so this is the approach, this is the career, this is the life in armed forces. This is how we have to look at armed forces as officer. So, gentlemen, please don't disturb me, madam. So, if any issue is there, now I am open for queries. Lot of you are throwing your questions on chat. Since I am focusing on my course of this guidance, I am not able to focus on questions because any interruption may disturb me. That's why I have kept query session at the end. You are all free to open your microphones and please ask me. So I will answer you through voice mode instead of chat. That will be much more easier for me. That technically typing and all is a little difficult. I am old timer. Kindly bear with me. Please open your mics. I request coordinator sir to help me on this aspect. If any query is there, sir, please tell the candidates to open one by one who has the this thing, and they can ask me questions. I'll keep guiding sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Kamal Das, boli.
Sir, actually, is there any minimum height requirement in defense?
Yes, there is a minimum height requirement, and 5 feet 2 inches के ऊपर होना चाहिए. That is the basic criteria. You can browse in this thing on the net also.
Okay, sir.
Medical requirements you can always physical and medical requirements.
Actually, sir, my father was also in defense in border roads. So
Okay.
he's retired last year, so I also want to join, and I am pursuing my BTech in Bangalore.
Okay, you can always join Mr. Das. So just go through the net, the site which I have told you. You can just
Yes, sir.
see through the physical and medical eligibility conditions. You will get the height detailment. If I'm not
Yes.
wrong, it is above 5 feet.
And so one more thing.
Yeah.
So I know about the CDS exam and all, but you told about like university. Through university, we can also placed in army.
Yes, there is a university entry scheme.
Yes, sir.
Fine, and they advertise also, right? So you please go through the advertisements and keep in touch with the www.joinindianarmy.nic.in. There is a university scheme. They go to college campuses, noted college campuses. If your college is not listed, you just apply through that recruiting thing and find out how to go about it. You will get the answer.
So I can go
But
to the other college.
mostly they take college campus interviews and select candidates. University entry scheme.
Okay, sir.
There are 30 vacancies available in there.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Hello.
Sir,
Yeah, Ms. Pratiksha.
sir, how to develop OLQs in our daily life? Like now we can develop OLQs before our SSB. So how can we do without coaching?
Okay. Pratiksha, OLQ, for the benefit of others, I'll elaborate. OLQ is basically, gentlemen, officer-like qualities. These are the qualities which armed forces are looking into aspiring candidates, potential candidates, whether they have in them or not. OLQs are officer-like qualities, as I told you. They are pertaining to your intellectual abilities, your social abilities, and your social effectiveness and your dynamism. What are these qualities? If you have these qualities, you are generally selected. There are again in this, there are trainable qualities and least trainable qualities. So trainable qualities are, if you don't have that shade, you can be trained in academies. If least trainable qualities, we find that need to be innately there. So for example, you have reasoning ability. You can develop by studying, you can develop by gaining knowledge, you can see, you can improve your general knowledge by studying.
Yes.
And then your effective intelligence, day-to-day solving, problem solving ability. If any practical problem comes, how you know develop it, how you solve it. That is by logic you practice, and your power of expression, that your ability to express verbally as well as in written, that you can do at home also, and your organizing ability, how systematic you are in organizing your things. These are intellectual abilities, and then come to social skills. That is how you adapt to yourself, others, and otherwise in surrounding areas, friends, and how friendly you are, how approachable you are. So that you can develop at home, that you can develop by yourself in personal
Yes.
development, and how cooperative you are, how responsible you are. That is most important, because these days youngsters, they are not, they tend to be little casual. So if you become responsible, that can be done at home, and that you have to practice every day.
Yes.
And then social effectiveness. You need to take initiative. That is, you have to take first step in right direction. You need to have self confidence. Yes, I can do it. People normally, of course, no, they don't have that confidence. नहीं हमसे नहीं होगा. No, I may not be able to achieve. Don't have that feeling. Always think positively and believe in yourself. Yes, I can do. That is self confidence. This is one of the qualities. Speed of decision. Some people are indecisive. You should be able to take a decision quickly and appropriately. Then ability to influence others, especially by logic. You should be lively. Many people are, dull, gloomy. That won't do. One should be lively, active, jubilant, cheerful. Keep others around us cheerful. This is one of the qualities which army is looking at. Come to dynamism. What is dynamism? It is go-getter attitude. Whatever may be the problem, I will achieve it. So that is obstacle, negotiation. You should have determination. I will achieve it in spite of all the difficulties. People should get motivated by seeing you how you are doing. So that is the thing. Determination, will to achieve your goal. That is one of the qualities. Your courage, risk taking, boldness, and your stamina, physical stamina as well as mental stamina. So these are the qualities which army is looking in a potential defense officer aspirant. So try and develop, try and divide, try and follow in day-to-day life. Think positively, don't think negatively. Automatically, victory will be yours. I have answered you, Pratiksha.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, is it necessary to go for coaching for SSBs, or we can do it in
See,
home? There is a myth, like if we go to
see.
coaching. Yes.
Okay, I'll answer your question.
Yes.
That is, you have asked that is it necessary to go for coaching to crack SSB?
Yes.
See, it is like this. If you, there's nothing called coaching. You need to have a guidance. We cannot coach. By coaching a candidate become just a coached candidate. There is no brilliance of his. We want a candidate who is brilliant and who has some guidance, right? So
Yes, sir.
the guidance aspect is important, and it helps or aids a candidate to know the path. See, if you are walking on a path, you may ask for turnings, but if you already is guided, you go smoothly. That is the difference of having guidance. I will not put in words of coaching to that. Guidance helps. If
Yes.
somebody is very brilliant, somebody is wants to do without it, that is fine. But guidance is a helping aid. If you have it, nothing like it.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
Okay, sir. Thank you.
thank you.
Jain sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please. Yeah, Mr.
Hello
Mahantesh.
sir.
Sir, how to choose optional subject in UPSC exam, sir?
How to choose UPSC subjects in UPSC exam?
Optional exam, optional subject, sir.
Achha, see, here we don't have any kind in UPSC, unlike civil service examination, you have that mixing up of two things. Here we don't have
Yes.
any optional selection at all.
Yes.
In UPSC written exam for NDA as well as your CDS exam, it is
Yes.
elementary mathematics, that is first paper in the morning, 10 plus 2 level mathematics will be there, and
Yes.
thereafter your general studies paper. General studies is basically, it is the syllabus laid out already. You have no option of
Sir.
choosing or not. So you just go through the syllabus and practice.
Start.
Okay. Next, please.
Thank you.
Hello sir. Jain sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir,
Jain, Vinay.
currently I am a. Hello, sir.
Yeah, shoot your question, Vinay.
Sir,
Yeah,
currently
please.
I am a free final
Yeah, please tell me.
student of this college, sir. Recently I joined.
Okay.
Recently I got selected in Army and Air Force, sir. Sir,
Okay.
later on I decided to join Air Force, sir.
Yeah. You joined. What? Say
Sir, I
again.
want to join. Decided to join Air Force, sir. After joining,
Okay. Okay. Right.
after joining, will they allow to complete my engineering degree and which exam is to be written to become an officer in Air Force, sir?
Okay. Let me know. Like you have joined Air Force. Are you qualified Air Force as an officer or a soldier?
Sir, as a airman, sir.
As an airman, right? That you had qualified as an airman.
Sir.
Later, you can take the permission of your officers, and I think you can complete.
Okay, sir.
But yeah, if you have joined, and also there are various avenues for service entries to get into Army Air Force as officer. Once you have completed within Air Force, there are service entries like in Army, Navy also. Like those who have joined as airmen or those who have joined as a sepoy or something, sailor, they can appear within departmental exams are conducted. Again, SSB exams are conducted. If they qualify, they become officers. And when you become officers, again you are made to undergo graduation. That is maybe if you are opting for engineering, likewise they will make you do, and you will become an officer with a degree. But yes, with this engineering, if your authorities give you permission, you can always complete. But provided college attendance is not compulsory, maybe that become an impediment if the college stresses for the attendance and you cannot leave your job.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Have you understood, Mr. Vinay?
I understood, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Next, any gentlemen for questions? Anybody?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, Mr.
So,
Srivastava.
what if armed forces won't came in college campus for recruitment? How should I apply for university entrance examination, sir?
See, university entrance examination advertisements come. You please follow this employment news, which is printed twice a month, and also you can see, as I told you, joinindianarmy.nic.in, that site. As and when this university entrance examination advertisement comes, please follow it up and go. Also, there is something called free job alerts in the free job alerts. Please follow that also.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Firstly, follow joinindianarmy.nic.in. You will get the your answer to query.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Srivastava.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Sahil.
Sir, my question is that I am pursuing BSc Mathematics and I want to join Indian Navy through CDS.
Okay.
Is there any procedure to join Indian Navy through CDS exam, and I'm pursuing BSc Mathematics?
I think you must be eligible. Kindly follow this www.joinindiannavy, JOININDIAN by joinindiannavy.nic.in, and you will get and go into recruiting in that. You will get your queries answered, and you are eligible mostly. I am sure, because you are BSc Maths and Physics.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, next.
Sir, there are some questions in the chat box.
Yes, sir. Please
Okay.
ask me, sir. I will clarify it.
Yeah, this is question from Sachin Patil. In SSB, is English compulsory, or we can also use Hindi language?
Sir, in SSB, in Hindi, if you are speaking in Hindi, I have an officer who has purely spoken in Hindi, qualified, and he joined army. So Hindi is our national language, but Hindi should be so good that it should be impressive and people should select it. And English, of course, is not compulsory, but the point is one has to work in English language once he becomes officer. at least some working knowledge of English should be there, but it is not compulsory. One can also speak in Hindi and get selected in SSB.
Okay, thank you, sir. One more question from Amrita Ponsia. Is there permanent commission for women candidates?
Sir, it's not audible. Can you kindly repeat it, please?
Is there permanent commission for women candidates?
Yes. Nowadays, recently Supreme Court has given direction already for permanent commission for women in 10 of the branches in armed forces. So they are eligible for permanent command type of commission. So that is held in abeyance because of COVID thing, and government has to implement it. Orders of Supreme Court are already there, sir. Only implementation process is still on hold. That shortly probably will be doing it.
Hello. Sir,
Yeah,
this is Prashant. Jai Hind, sir.
Somebody wants
Sir,
to ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Prashant.
Yes, sir. My question is, sir, I had been to SSB twice, sir, and even I have checked my scores. Like I have been till the conference day, the recommendation day, but I didn't get recommended. I have been to AFSB, but sir, I don't know where I went wrong, and there's no feedback and introspection. Also, I couldn't get a clear picture about it. And
Okay,
I
okay,
can tell you about.
Prashant.
Sir, I can tell you about the scores what I have got in written in SSB. So that can you tell me what can be the reason of it?
Tell me, have you been recommended in SSB also?
No, sir. Twice I have been to like conference day. Last conference out time actually.
Okay, you are conference out. You have reached up to the conference stage. Fine, Mr. Prashant. The point is your performance in 3 tests, that is psychology, group testing officers test or interview. So probably that needs some more improvement. So that is the reason you probably were not recommended. For such thing, you can personally contact me. I'll just share my number now only. So all such candidates or those who have any personal candidates, with permission of Professor Ravi sir, I am sharing the number now. Sir, 94921. My number is 94921 5050514. Last number is 514.
Sir,
I say again.
Sir, one thing, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Sir, my SSB score had been, the recent SSB score had been 350. So where can is this sufficient?
See,
you might have done some poor performance in some of it, like interview, GTO, or this psychology.
In the SSB, thereafter, on the basis of written marks plus interview marks, both combined, and then your merit is given. If you have not been recommended in SSB, then you will not be recommended even if you have passed your written.
Sir,
Mr. Prashant, have I answered?
Sir, can you repeat it, sir? Actually, I couldn't hear it. There was some problem.
Okay. I repeat it again. What I am telling you is, written you have cleared already, but clearing of SSB is again important. Unless you pass SSB, unless you get recommended in SSB, you will not be cleared fully. Only written marks do not matter, and how much ever you have got. But if you are not recommended in SSB, there is no point. One cannot be selected. You have to pass in both written as well as you have to get recommended in SSB. SSB recommendation is purely based on the recommendation of psychologist, the recommendation of GTO, the recommendation of interviewing officer. At least they have to give you 90 marks out of 225 with each assessor. Then only you have to get selected. Again, selection in that, recommendation in that is again, one can be recommended by one assessor, one can be recommended by two assessors, one can be recommended by three assessors. But those who are recommended by three assessors will go high in merit, and those who go high in merit will fill the vacancies. So finally, the passing of recommendation in SSB is important.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Sir, one more last question. This is from
Yes.
Meenu Dadmani. Is there any exam for those who don't have medical fitness?
That is, you are asking, is there exam for those who do not have medical fitness, right,
Yes,
sir?
sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, for armed forces, medical fitness is very important for all the three services. Without medical fitness, one cannot get into armed forces, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Both physical and medical fitness are very important, and they advertise it in detail also, and they reject if medical fitness is not there, they reject also. Okay. And sir, there is one query from Mr. Santosh Kumar, I believe, that is it possible to join Indian Defence, Army, Air Force or Navy for teachers with 40 years of age? So here I want to say there is territorial army officers, entry, TA officers entry up to age of 45. Please sir, you kindly go through employment news or join Indian Army nic.in. You get the details. I'm sure you are eligible, sir. Provided physically and medically you should be fit and you should have passed the exams, required exams. Age-wise, you are eligible for TA, Territorial Army Officers. Yes, Maya sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So good evening once again.
Any further, sir?
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Asim Srivastava, tell me.
So what if I get selected in Air Force and I don't want to be a pilot? I want to be on technical branch or ground duty.
Yes, you can always opt for it. Many of them, they get grounded and go into logistics or ground duty officers duties. It is not a compulsory. If you are getting selected as pilot officer and somebody doesn't want, they can always, I think, go for ground duties. Yes.
But sir, someone told me that it is if ground duty is of SSC, Short Service Commission, not permanent, sir. Is it true, sir?
Ground duties, you have to just go through that site. I am not very clear, but ground duties, I think they are permanent. They are permanent duties. They are not short duties. Once you have got entry into permanent commission, you will be permanent only. Maybe there are short services entries are also there in that. We should just go through that. See www.joinindianairforce.nic.in for further details in this. Mr.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Thank you. Yeah, Mr.
Sir, good evening, sir. Can you explain something more about NCC special entry, sir?
Mr. Bharat, NCC special entry is for the candidates who have got senior division NCC C certificate with minimum B grading.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And it is advertisement is given in employment news. Advertisement is given in your net also online. joinindianarmy.nic.in. You just go through them. You will come to know this thing. Yearly twice the advertisement comes, or follow up with your NCC group headquarters. You will come to know. You can apply.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. One query was there online. One gentleman, who is that? Any suggestions for improving our physical fitness? Mr. Harsha has asked. Mr. Harsha, I would like to say that physical fitness can be improved by daily. There are 40 minutes in a day. I want you to take out just 40 minutes for your time, that is for physical exercise. Do basic running, that is jogging slowly, eat healthy, sleep on time, and do some, push-ups, do some sit-ups, and basically gymming and yoga. You can always develop physical fitness. In case you want improvement in specific, body parts, that is chest or something, as you have to fit for physical fitness. So you can just go through these sites which I have told you for physical aspects and go ahead and practice on that. And second question was Mr. Rakshit Ballal from Territorial Army. Can we get transferred to other regular army? Sorry, sir. There is no such parallel entry. That is Territorial army officers only stay as territorial army officers. They don't get into regular army, sir. Okay. Ms. Pratiksha, yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, there is myth in defense aspirants. Like in first year of SSB screening, OR is not important as PPDT and GDR. So is it true, sir? Like OR is not considered, or it is considered?
Oh, okay. Good question, Pratiksha.
Yes.
It's a benefit of others also. I'll just elaborate. OIR is Officers Intelligence Rating. This is basically one of the tests where your mental aptitude is checked by verbal testing and non-verbal testing, which is a writing written test. And the first day itself they carry out this test. So the verbal test marks and non-verbal test marks are accumulated, that is their total, and based on those total marks, there is officer's intelligence rating is taken. Then once you have completed your psychology test, that is written test, and then you have carried out your discussion part, then you will be assessed by psychologist, group testing officer, and interviewer, all three on the spot during your group discussion in the description test. So what happens is, based on your OIR, if you are getting OIR, that is marks are very good, then you will be OIR 1. If your marks are not so good and poor, then you will be in OIR 5. So you are in OIR 1, 2, 3, then 4 and 5. So 1 is the best, 2 is second best, 3 is third best, 4 is almost lower level, that is just 50%, and 5 is almost 40 to 50% marks. So what happens is, if you are OIR 1, 2 or 3, among 3 assessors, even one says you are doubtful, even then you will go to stage 2. But if you are OIR 5, minimum 2 assessors have to say you are doubtful, or one has to say you are yes, candidate is very good. Then you may go to stage 2.
Yes.
If you are OIR 5, minimum 2 assessors have to say yes, that is you are too good. Then only you will be going. That means if you have good marks in OIR, then your chances of clearing into stage 2 are good.
Okay.
1D, one doubtful for any of the 3 assessors will see you through to stage 2. So that myth is solved.
Yes.
Pratiksha?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Have I answered your doubt?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Sir, what if
Okay.
we write a story? Sorry, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So what if we
Go
write a story which is not that good, but our GD is good? So there are chances of getting in stage 2, or
see, only by GD, that is you are so good that 2 assessors have given you, even if you are OIR 5, then you may go to, but in girls entry, normally girls are, their speaking capabilities are very good. I have seen in my experience, girls speak very fluently and very easy and very confidently. So the point is, many speak well. So selection comes down if you have less marks in OIR. So OIR clearing is not very difficult. Even if you spend 40 minutes a day or 1 hour a day, you can easily solve this verbal, non-verbal, and you can clear.
yes.
See, when we prepare, we should prepare with all weapons and ammunitions. We cannot see कि मैं वो थोड़ा कम कर लूं तो इसमें ज्यादा कर लूं तो हो जाएगा क्या? नहीं, हमको खाना भी खाना है, दाल भी खाना है, दोनों खाना है, तभी हम ताकतवर रहेंगे. ये भी ऐसा ही है, दोनों बराबर होना चाहिए.
Yes, sir.
We must always see that we must get 100 out of 100 in everything. We must not give any discounts to anything, at least in preparation. Okay, beta?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank
Hello,
you.
sir.
Now I have a question from Amruta. That is, sir, is there allowed us to change the SSB center? Yes, SSB center, you please approach your call-up center who has given you. But these days, because of COVID, they are fixing up and they are not mostly changing. But you have to approach recruiting branch of Army headquarters for this. And maybe if you approach, if they are okay with it, if there is a vacancy, then they may change your center. But these days, because of this pandemic, it is getting difficult administratively to change easily. Okay? Yeah. And one more question from Rahul. Sir, having NCC A certificate is useful during assessment. See, NCC A certificate during assessment means in interview, A certificate is just 1 year you have done. Maybe 2 years in junior division will fetch you A certificate, but there is no A certificate as such given these days. Only B certificate is given. And senior division, if you have done 1 year, then you are supposed to be considered as A certificate, but there is no certificate given to you. I don't think much of it will fetch you any advantage of that in assessment. And one Miss Saksha has asked, sir, in Indian Air Force, once officers are selected under flying branch or ground duty branch technical, how are they further chosen for combat roles? Or are these officers allowed to select for themselves? I have not understood the question, but what I can make out of it is, see, if you have joined as a flying duty officer or fighter, you will go as a fighter unless you are grounded because of any technical or medical reasons. And if you have joined as a officer in logistics, you will stay in logistics. And all are combatants only. When in war, if required, everybody has to fight. That's why we are in Air Force or Navy or Armed Forces. Everybody is a combatant, everybody is a soldier as well as a technical person. Okay. I
Sir.
think I have answered. Next. Anybody?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Mahantesh.
Sir,
Yeah,
in
please tell me.
sir, in SSB interview,
Yeah, Mr. Mahantesh, go ahead.
what
Wow.
things
Yeah.
they may ask, sir, questions?
See, SSB interview, again, as I told you, there are two stages. Stage 1 and stage 2. Stage 1 is on first day. For example, there are 200 candidates who have come for the stage 1 exam.
Sir.
A board can keep only up to 40 people because board can take only that much row. Rest 160 have to go back if they are not performing. So in stage 1 you have verbal non-verbal test based on which OR is taken. You have picture perception test, a small psychological written test, and based on that picture perception you have description test where you have to carry out group discussion on what you have written a story on that picture which you have been shown. You all have been shown. So if you have done very well on that, only those 40 candidates who have done well in stage 1 will be selected for stage 2. Rest people will go back home.
Yes.
In stage 2, the first day you have psychology test, which have thematic perception test, which has word association test and situation reaction test and self description. And you have interview maybe on second day, third day, or fourth day, personal interview. And then you have 2 days of group testing officers test on ground. So this is how it goes on. Final day, there will be a conference altogether on your performance cumulatively.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
So I request all the participants, if they have any more queries, you can contact Colonel's number, which is already given in the chat box.
Yes.
For any more clarifications, you can just talk to sir. No, sir, we are coming at the end of the session. So,
yes.
So let me offer the vote of thanks. On behalf of management, principal, HOD and participants, I wholeheartedly thank Lieutenant Colonel Dr. N.S. Rao for sharing his very valuable information about the topic career as officer in Indian Armed Forces. Thank you very much, sir. In spite of your busy schedule, you have taken time and you have answered all the queries of the participants, which will be surely helpful for many to take up the career in Indian Armed Forces. I take this opportunity to thank our beloved HOD, Dr. Ravi M. Reddy, sir, for his encouragement, guidance, and continuous support toward the organization of this webinar. Thank you so much, sir. I sincerely thank all the participants for their active participation and patient appreciation. Thank you, one and all. And the feedback link is shared in the chat box, so you can just fill up the feedback and send. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you so much, Professor Ravi sir, and thank you, Mahesh sir, and I thank principal also
Welcome,
for
sir.
this
Thank
opportunity given to me. And I'm very happy to interact with all young blood who are aspiring to join armed forces. And
Yes,
I ascertain, I'm sure with my personal experience, I can tell all the candidates It's a very bright career, very good career to become an army officer or air force or navy officer. And I bless all of them for their success, sir. And thank you so much, and wishing you all a very happy Independence Day. If anybody has any query left, they can always call me. I am freely available on the number which I have given. And anytime I will attend to the students. That will be my pleasure. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
sir.
God
Thank
bless
you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Jai Hind, Jai Hind.
Jai Hind, sir. Jai Hind, sir.
Thank you.